imagine when you feel a tremor? Do you think there's an earthquake or is Godzilla walking down the street? What you may have felt is an aftershock to something called fracking or hydraulic fracturing. According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, fracking is the injection of fluid into shale beds at high pressure in order to free up petroleum resources like oil or natural gas. The problem with fracking is that sometimes companies don't take the right safety measures and problems occur. Now this is relevant because we only get one world to live on, so we need to take care of it. I hope that I'll be able to relay this information to you in a timely and concise manner. There are solutions to safer fracking though, so let's get started. So before we get into the problems of fracking and the solutions to them, let's talk about how fracking actually happens. So it starts when water is transported by around 400 tanker trucks to these well sites. Now once the water gets there, it's mixed with about 40,000 different chemicals. So once that happens, it is injected into this pipe and goes all the way down about a mile or more underneath the earth to something called shale rock. So once the water gets there, pressure builds up and the shale rock fractures, releasing the gas and bringing the gas up the well into storage containers and out onto the market. So now that you know how fracking actually happens, let's talk about some of the problems of fracking. There are a few problems with fracking. Most of them are environmental. One problem is that fracking is exempt from the Safe Drinking Water Act. According to the United States Environmental Protection Agency, the Safe Drinking Water Act was established to protect the quality of drinking water in the U.S. So basically, the Environmental Protection Agency establishes minimum standards for what you can do with drinking water and how to use it and protect it. Now, fracking is exempt from this. That means that companies can basically do whatever they want with the water and not get in trouble for it. This needs to stop because, as you saw, 400 tankers of water for one well is quite a lot, and we could possibly run out of drinking water. Another problem is that sometimes fracking releases toxic chemicals into the environment. According to Rinkish, in an article written by him on the website Conserve Energy Future, he says that there are up to 600 chemicals used in fracking liquid, including known carcinogens and toxins such as lead, uranium, radium, methanol, and hydrochloric acid. Now you really don't want to drink some of that stuff, do you? It's supposed to be extracted back up the pipe safely and put in containment wells. But sometimes there are cracks in the pipe and the chemicals leak out into the ground and go to other water sources. This is harmful to people and animals that live around there because they could possibly drink it and get sick, and it's just bad for the environment. So now you know some of the problems of fracking. Now let's talk about the solutions to these problems. There are a few ways to make fracking safer. For one, you can include fracking in the Safe Drinking Water Act. If that were to happen, the companies that conduct fracking would have to comply by the standards in the Act and change how they get their water because they wouldn't be able to use drinking water anymore. Another way would be to repair the leaks. According to an article written by Russell Gold in the Wall Street Journal, he said that we don't really know how much methane is leaking from wells and pipelines. Rates are above current federal estimates. So if they were to repair the leaks, companies would be able to get more methane out because it's not leaking anymore, and they'll be able to make a little more money, so it's kind of a win-win situation. Now, some companies are actually ready to comply with this and fix their wells. Gold also said that a company plans to hire 16 full-time employees to use infrared cameras to find leaks around its wells and pipelines. One final way is to build better wells. Now, a lot of the problems that you hear with fracking aren't from the actual process, because according to Gold, the actual process takes place miles below the surface of the earth, not near any sort of potable aquifer. Most of the problems come in the well from cracks and stuff like that. Companies need to be more careful when laying their cement so as no cracks to form right after as it dries, and also to be able to maintain them so that they can repair the leaks. So to sum it up, according to Gold once again, the U.S. is drilling 100 new wells a day. That's a lot of wells. Clearly, this problem is only going to get bigger and become more prominent as we find new needs for more energy and resources to power that energy. Now, I can't make a decision for you on whether or not you think fracking is safe now as it is or if it needs to be changed, but I hope that I've given you enough information for you to make your own decision. So the next time you use gas or oil, think about where it came from and if it infected the environment.